Hey folks, we're here again with Ian Steele.
What's up, everybody? Coming at you live, May 2025. Back into it. It's been a minute, Adam, since we did the first show, so thank you for having me back.
It has. You were one of our first guests.
Yeah, I think I was like maybe 2 or 3 on the recording, but you actually posted me as the first podcast, right?
That's right. That's right. And you know what? That one is still hard to beat for total views. It's going strong.
Oh, man.
It's going strong.
We had a good topic that day talking about, tech culture and how to just be a good human being at the end of the day and do right by each other.
That's right. You and I have been doing this, working in this industry a long time now.
It's been a minute, and there's been some big changes, right? Like, we've seen some really good things, and we've seen some really awful things. So, as we jump in today, start with a quick safety topic, right?
Yeah.
This last week, we got a little info between the two of us that there was a tech that took some DC voltage and took a ride to a hospital. And, man, it just seems like this year the tip of the iceberg is getting more and more exposed. And, for everybody out there listening, guys, this show is about learning about the industry and all the things that go on. But ultimately, if you guys aren't being safe in the field at the end of the day, you're not going to get to listen to this. So please take heed to that and make sure we're watching our boundaries. We're wearing our PPE. We're understanding our JSEAs. And if you don't know, stop. Please just stop. Ask someone. It's okay. No one's going to make fun of you. It may take a little longer to get the job done, but just stop so that you don't wind up that person that's taking the ambulance ride to the hospital. Or, worst case scenario, someone's having to call a family member at the end of the day.
All right. I love this. Let's break it down a little bit because that stop piece, stop work authority is a term. Man, one of the most well-respected safety people I know convinced me that it's stop work responsibility, not authority.
That's right.
We've changed that and adopted it at Altair. And then to talk through, what does it mean? Hey, it's just a timeout. Just pause. Timeout, guys. Timeout. Right? You don't need to shut down a power plant. It's not drastic. It's just timeout for a second.
That's it. Ask a question. If it doesn't look right, if your gut tells you it doesn't feel right, just stop, ask the question. You can still proceed the same way that you were at the end of it, as long as you stopped and you asked, right? Because someone else may have some other input. You may see something from a different level at that point. And I love that piece, stop work responsibility. You see it, you own it. And if you don't open your mouth, man, I couldn't imagine what that would feel like at the end of the day if someone got hurt and I didn't say something about it. So be your brother's keeper. Come on. It's okay to challenge every now and again. To Adam's point, though, don't shut down an entire project. don't go flip a switch in a sub. But if you don't feel right, if you don't know, stop and ask.
It's just time out, guys.
That's it.
It's time
I love
out.
it.
I don't know who I was talking to on here, but I related it to when I was kids. We used to play in the street all day. We play car. Get off the street real quick. All right, game on. Right? Wayne's World.
Yep.
Okay, but seriously, that's what stop work authority. It's a responsibility. It's just a quick timeout. Just pause.
For sure.
But since you're on it, let's take a minute. Solar site, electrical lotto is key. It's not complicated. It is paramount to doing work.
Different types of voltage, right? We're working on DC circuits when you're on that ground level and running things in parallel that just boosts the amperage behind it and how that works. So it may get repetitive, guys. It's tough to not get complacent, but paid by the hour as technicians to go out, and your safety is your responsibility as well, right? As company owners, as service people, we can give you tools all day long to show you what the right procedure is. But if you sidestep that at the end of the day, you're putting your safety in your own hands. And unfortunately, we can't be side by side with you every moment that you're in the field.
That's right.
So lotto, come on. Hot, cold, hot. Everybody should understand that. Make sure you tested your meter before you went hot, cold, hot, right? Like, put it on the DC voltage. If you don't understand it, use the stop, responsibility, ask the question.
That's it. Don't cut corners. If you didn't have the right tool to get it done, go get it. Don't try and work around it. Don't try and be clever. Pull a wire here and keep your hands off of it, right? Just go do it the right way. As long as it takes hours, days, weeks, doesn't matter.
Man, go home tired, go home dirty. Don't go home.
But go home.
In an ambulance. Yeah. Like, that's it. Exactly. Go home.
Yeah.
Fingers, toes, all the things.
Yeah.
It's good to feel those other pieces of tired and dirty. It's not good to be hurt.
Yeah.
And then not be able to go to work the next day to provide for your family or pay your bills because you took that sidestep, and it's just not worth it, guys.
This is I love that we started on safety. Hands down my favorite topic. I appreciate that. And it's technician safety, but and that was, I think, the thing we talked about last time was technician culture, but
For
teaching that and instilling it, manager culture. Now, right? We have to have a manager culture. And I was just saying, it's something as simple as leaders remembering to share information, just like we did, right? It's not overly complicated, similar to Lotto, but it is paramount to creating a culture.
That share culture is what allowed this industry to grow and scale at the pace that it did. And now what we're seeing is a shift, and we need to default back to what we initially did, was that, man, nothing's proprietary. You can have your own design, your pieces on an OEM equipment, but man, the experiences that you have in the field, the knowledge that you've gained over time, that just has to continue to push to others. And as a manager, as you grow, man, think about it as like when your dad would tell you to do something and you're like, I'm not going to do it because he said to do it that way. And then you wind up being like him as you grow older in your life. And I'd say, like, my dad forever wore his shirt tucked in and a pair of boots. And I swore as a kid I was never going to wear my shirt tucked in and a pair of boots. And at like 18 years old, all of a sudden something in my head clicked that he wasn't telling me to do it because, like, he thought it was cool. He was telling me to do it because there was functionality behind it. And to this day, now I do wear my shirt tucked in and a pair of boots. But it's that sharing of knowledge to others as a manager that is going to create the tech culture that we talked about last time. But manager to manager, you also have that culture, right? So, I don't know. We can dive into a lot today when it comes to those pieces, but you're right. It's sharing the experiences so that others can learn from your mistake, but not at the cost of their health or safety. Or production, all the things go into that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about how we might break down some of that conversation. One way is to hit a few of the mistakes, common mistakes managers, new or seasoned managers make.
Oh, man. I'm
Just
going to air my
mistakes.
Okay, I won't air my dirty.
I think it's fun to air our own, but
right.
yeah, but anything.
I mean, so there's a lot of pieces that I've learned, and I think that coming from the field has always helped me be a better manager and a back office person than some of those that just kind of went through school and then didn't have that additional experience. And it, again, we'll go back to the word culture. It's like, when you're with a group of folks and you're turning the wrench, you go home tired, you go home dirty together. That's culture building right there. And as you move yourself up, you don't ever forget that. Like, you really will never forget those days and how that was. And that's what will make a really effective manager at the end of the day, is that he can relate, but also knows when to say when, right? So, I mean, I've made some mistakes safety-wise, I can tell you. As a young man and a technician, I may or may not have left a harness on a transition deck and done a maintenance.
Oh, okay.
And now looking back, I'm like, why would I have ever done that? Like, I could never get back to my harness. Like, dumb mistakes.
Yep.
And but I think there was also that piece of not having a manager who explained it to me as thoroughly of what those safety concerns were. It was more production driven of get up, get the maintenance done, get to the next one. And so comfortability came into play. So, I mean, on a safety piece, that's probably one of the worst ones that I could call myself out for as I look back is, man, that was real bad to
Yeah.
do. That and maybe riding in a loader bucket to make a termination one time. But
All right. Fair enough. I like that.
when we talk about safety and that culture piece as a manager, everybody uses the term, safety starts at the top and you drive it down. That's really not true. Safety starts with yourself and when you're at home. Because if you're going to practice unsafe things at home, you're going to take those same shortcuts when you're on a job site. So if you're using the swivel bar stool to change a light bulb at your house, you're the same guy that's not going to have someone hold a ladder when you're on the job site. So safety starts with each person individually, and it's something that you have inside of you. You can use the tools that others give you, but I really think that when we talk about managers driving safety down, they can drive some metrics down, but safety really is your decision at the end of the day.
I think what I heard is manager, if you haven't been out in the field and lived it, you must.
It's for sure.
I agree 100%, right? And, that's been the typical progression of careers, right? You're tech 1, 2, 3, or whatever. You grow and you're a lead, you're a manager. This is natural promotion. But if you aren't trained to be a lead, you're not going to be a good one. If you're not trained to be a manager, you're not going to be a good one. And the opposite's true, right? Because it grew so fast, the industry, a lot of companies, me included, not Altair, but prior companies, you hire people to be managers, even though they weren't a technician. And it also didn't work really well.
Yeah. I mean, I felt that over the last couple companies previous, and then, something I'm taking with me into this new one is you can't promote out of necessity. Even though it becomes very easy because people have tenure, they have a little bit of experience, but that training piece of, are they prepped to be a manager? Do they know what really being a manager is, or do they just want the pay bump?
Yeah.
Right. And that manager culture of, you're now the teacher, you're also now the one that has to hold people accountable. And you have to be able to draw that line of what used to be your friendship versus what is right for a business and what is safe for the business and what is right for the customer as a manager. And you hit it, man. That training piece, if you're just promoting folks just because they've spent the time, they are not ready for it. I'll call myself out on another mistake there. I've done this, and it cost me money, like big money, when you put people in charge of running projects and then they're being friends and they have people show up later. They don't reprimand when they need to, or something bad happens and then you don't find out till later because they're trying to keep themselves safe. So being a manager is a lot more than just that time in the field, which you definitely need. You have to have that next level training to be effective as a manager.
In today's fast-paced industry, having the right tools isn't just an advantage, it's essential. That's where ETI Energy Tools comes in. With over 75 years of industry experience, they deliver strategic procurement solutions that enhance safety, efficiency, and cost savings. ETI provides industrial tools, safety gear, test and measurement equipment, and heavy repair solutions, all backed by a vast network of manufacturers. Whether it's tool kitting, PPE standardization, or high voltage tooling, ETI saves companies time and money while ensuring they have the right tools for the job. Contact ETI at etienergytools.com to learn more and gear up for success. If you promote or hire somebody into that spot without the training, you're guilty of hindering that person's career. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've ever gone through this. I unfortunately have. I can think of 2 times in my life where I've promoted somebody and then later on had to demote them. And that is not their fault. That's my fault. I did not set them up for success. And man, that's a humbling, way humbling experience if you haven't had to live it. But
you can see by the look on my face that I
might have.
And it's, it cost me a friendship. And it is a regret and something I now take heavy as I move forward in moving folks around and assessing, skill set and character and all of those pieces to get to that next level, because it truly is a lot more than just experience in the field.
Yep. All right. So I'm talking about training a little bit, but if you've not been in the field and you want to hire the person as a manager, I have been advocating to the other leaders at Altair, you maybe, somewhere down the line, many months and years to come, we do that. I have an amount of time I would want that person to work in the field as a technician before they're allowed to be a manager.
Okay.
I won't say I want a year
Minimum.
I don't think I'm gonna get leadership buy-in for more than 6 months. It never happens. But I want that time because and I was telling Ross this, man. If somebody hired me to be a service manager today, unless you trained me, that was a long time ago. I don't know that I'm gonna remember quite as well, and I'm not up to speed on new technology and tools.
Right.
You might be setting me up for failure.
I think that as a manager, if you were getting put into that role, it would be something like you could see a differentiator if someone asked to be trained in that or spend the time. Also, the person that's willing to go and sit in the truck with the tech and go learn it. Like that's real. And I think I've seen some of the most successful managers that I've ever worked with. Some of those guys purposely graduated, got their engineering degree, and then went and turned a wrench for 12 months, climbed turbines. And now they sit as, U.S. directors over complete service lines, and they wouldn't have if they didn't go and spend that time in the field.
It's invaluable. You can't skip it. You can't skip it. It's rite of passage.
Yeah. It's not something you can BS your way through at the end of the day.
No. Okay. Oh, I had a common mistake one for you.
Yeah.
And I've done this, being very cautious about it. I've still fell, I want to say victim. I slipped into this, but you think as a manager, you have a great idea about a new process, a initiative, something, and you just believe that everybody's going to love it. So you start forcing this change, and you find out everyone hated it. It was a bad idea. The whole thing's failing, but you didn't stop and ask, right? You just took your idea and went, I'm the boss. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah. I've been there. I think that I kind of caught myself early enough when I put myself in those situations. They were always more, we're going to do it this way because we're in a time crunch or it's going to save some money without asking, but then always being able to come back, right? Like that's another thing of that manager learning piece and training is you've got to be able to listen critically and take critical feedback when things are not what you think they are. And if you're not willing to be receptive, again, you're probably not ready to sit at that next level or that seat at the table.
Yeah. So managers, you don't have a good idea unless everyone around you says you have a good idea. It's just
no matter what you think, it's still not great.
It's just the truth. Yeah. You've talked yourself into it, and you've dreamt it all up. But if everyone else didn't agree, it's not a good idea.
For sure. I see that a lot in where, when you're really transitioning from that lead level, trying to get to the manager level. So if you're a foreman or you're a soup and you're trying to get to a manager position, you think that directing people and having the idea is what's going to get you that next 10% to get there. But ultimately, it's just doing what you were doing right before. Right? You don't need to change something to get there. You just got to keep being good and being receptive to your people. And to your point of if everybody didn't buy in, it's not a good idea. Don't push it.
No, don't do it. That's a common one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just making your own ideas come to life when you probably should have crowdsourced that thing first.
Can I get a survey?
All right. So we hit some of the mistakes, common ones. What are some of the key good habits for a manager to create a healthy culture on their team?
You want me to give you my number one?
Yeah.
From the answer your phone.
Oh.
Answer your phone and talk to your people. Like, that's real. You're busy. You have a lot of other, priorities and obligations, but nothing is more important than those technicians at the end of the day.
Be responsive.
Yeah. Even if it's, hey, I can't answer your phone right now, you send them a text and I'm going to call you back. You better call back. Don't send them that text if you're not calling back.
Yep.
It's better to have a busy line than it is for someone to not return a message.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that is my number one thing. If I could tell anyone out there, man, answer your phone, talk to your people. Don't send them emails all the time. Don't send them texts all the time. Have a conversation. I was reading something this morning that like only 7% of communication is retained when you read it. So in an email, let's say that you send someone an email, 7% of that you can retain. But then when people take it out of context, because there's no emotion behind it, there's no reciprocal conversation, right? Me to you, you back to me. We've now cut over 90% of that out because we just sent an email versus sometimes picking up the phone and making the point or hearing them so that they can make their point to you.
Interesting. 7%. So, yes, be responsive.
Yeah.
Answer your phone. Get back to your team. Yeah. Find maybe, I guess I would say find their preferred method of communication.
That's true.
Could be verbal. Could be, some people are written. I'm actually a little bit of both, but I remember I'm a visual learner. So,
Okay.
yeah, when I read it, like I can still see the words
Gotcha.
in my head. I will forget them often when it goes out the other ear.
Got it.
Yeah. But you're right.
Right.
Like,
Just be receptive, right? At the end of the day.
Responsive, be there. I love that. Answer your phone. It's that simple.
And then the next one, like you said, is forcing your opinion or direction, and which, I mean, come back to kind of like a micromanage. Like guys in the field, techs in the field have gotten to a level that they have experience, right? If you're managing laborers on the low end and trying to groom them, maybe a little different, but let folks think for themselves, and they have to grow the same way you did. And if it's constant, just do it this way with no option, they're not going to figure out a problem. Nothing is going to become more efficient. Things are actually going to probably become less safe because they're going to become complacent in it, and it's not their thoughts and their processes. So that would be the other big one that kind of rings with me is let folks learn and work until you have to step in. You don't have to micro everything down to that point.
I like that. I often try to remind people that it doesn't matter what job you have or where you sit in the company, everyone works for everyone else at the company, right? I don't care if you're the big boss, no one's above you. That just means everyone, you work for everyone, right? In one way, shape, or form. So if you're a manager, you have people that report to you, you have people that you report to, and you might say, I work for them. But the folks that report to you are really the folks you wake up and go to work for.
Right. I like that.
It's just the opposite, right? And, I was like your shirt, here to serve, but you're serving those people that work for you. And so if their careers are not advancing, if their technical skills, knowledge, expertise in whatever they do, doesn't have to be technical work, could be otherwise. If that's not growing for each of those people, sorry, manager, you missed the mark.
Without a doubt.
Try again.
As a manager, you not effectively hearing and boosting those people actually draws your grade down, right? Like, so if you think you're an A player, but you're bringing your guys down because you're not promoting, you're not getting them the next level of those things, and they're all a bunch of C's, you're now a C on the average. If you look at that, one of my favorite leaders gave me that piece. She actually told me, she's like, if you do not surround yourself and boost everyone to an A level, you're going to dip. And you can't be afraid to share information, to have people smarter than you around you, because that is the only way we are going to challenge ourselves to get better, right? Uncomfortable is good. when you become a manager. Uncomfortable is good.
Yep. I like it. Uncomfortable is good. It doesn't have to be that your people have to promote. Not everybody's chasing that. Matter of fact, less are chasing that, right? But they may want to expand their skill set. You know, hey, I'd like to get this training and be able to do this piece of the business as well. Let's get you trained. I'd like to be an expert in. Okay, let's get you the training and the opportunity. You're still investing in the people.
Yeah, you know that. When I said promote it, just like how do you get folks to want to continue down a career path versus staying stagnant in the career path, right? Like we can't have a bunch of folks that just want to stay as tech level ones or don't, because there's only so much tech level one work that's out there. And if nobody wants to progress, we have to find and groom people and make things interesting enough that folks do want to continue to move as well. Like your job as a manager is to help drive people to be the next best level of them, when sometimes they may not see that.
Yeah. I think that investing in your people's careers is how you show appreciation.
For sure.
Right? It trumps a lunch or a personal friendship, because this benefits them and their family and whoever they come into contact with. Mm-hmm. You're not there to see it, but it happens.
It's amazing what believing in people can generate on a magnitude level, right? Just telling somebody there, hey, how's your day? You did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what the problem was. Oh, there wasn't any? Man, how do we do that again tomorrow?
I love that, believing in people. All right. Now I got to ask, has there been someone or some big times in your life that caused you to think that way? Someone that believed in you?
Yeah. I mean, I have a couple that have given me some opportunities and just really said, go be great. Two of them being my current business partners.
Okay.
I was a tech, man, and I thought I was just going to be a tech. I was working at a wind farm as a lead technician, and some people called me and said, you think you could be a manager of some solar? And I was like, never did it before, but I'd love to try. And, you know, over 10 years ago, that conversation happened, and it turned into becoming a shareholder within a company, to becoming a global director, to now coming back to a services industry as a co-founder of a company.
Amazing.
And they were there through every step, and it wasn't always easy. Like it's good to have that challenge, that conflict, and feel uncomfortable, but man, they've given me those opportunities. There's a few others as well, but I would thank them for that every day.
They believed in you.
They did. They really did.
Who are we talking about?
Man, I'll give a shout out.
We drop a name? We can't?
Yeah,
Of course we can. All right.
I mean, I'll drop it. Buddy and Nikki Cummings.
There you go.
Founders of Whirlwind Services, which became Whirlwind Solar, which ultimately now is Pierce Renewables, after 2 private equity flips. And now co-founders of Here to Serve Workforce Solutions. This one right here, guys, the new company out. So I know the last time I was with a battery company when I was here, and now I'm founding a new business and putting service techs in the field.
This episode brought to you by RST Cranes. With over 30 years of experience, RST Cranes brings the industry expertise to every project. From wind turbines to solar inverters, mining operations to industrial construction, RST Cranes is your heavy lift specialist, located in Tehachapi, California, and serving the surrounding areas. Contact RST Cranes for your next project at www.rstcranes.com. I love this. And I love how you took that from the beginning of a couple of people that believed in you.
And they do every day.
Oh, man.
So managers out there right now, find somebody, tell them good job when you know it. Don't hold that to yourself, because it's going to go a long way. And managers of managers, it goes the same for you.
Yeah, double for you.
Yeah. Oh, how about you? For you? Who was someone that believed in you?
Oh, man. There have been quite a few. And I got 28 years going here, so there have been a few. Well, shit, Ian, you're not going to like my answer because I feel like I'm one-upping you, buddy. But it's my wife.
Ooh, good call.
I know.
That's a good one.
I know. And she still does. Like, she's seen me fail more than any other human alive.
Babe, I'm sorry I didn't call you out as my biggest supporter.
Thought about holding back on that answer.
No, but you're right. Steph has been tremendous in all the things for you. Mm-hmm. And that's real.
Oh man.
A ride or die, you're your partner for life.
Yeah.
And I believe that. I've seen it in action.
Man. So no, she's, just blindly believed that I could do anything. And that's wild to find. Yeah. But others along the road, yeah, there've been quite a few. I mean, just from getting my first job here, Mike Messier hired me in 97, right? I walked in like torn up clothes, best I had. I was like, give me a shot. It's a fair deal. And I got to drive across the country and commission turbines with him in the 90s. I mean, that was amazing. I'm going to give one other because I texted one of my old bosses this morning. I was just thinking about him, Bob Carl. I did several different jobs for him at GE. And, God, I don't know if it was, I look back and he clearly did believe in me. However, my perception then was just that you won't believe what he's forced me to do now.
Level up.
And he's like, figure it out. But clearly he believed in me. And, I got those opportunities for new job types, right? From regional directors to global ops and all sorts of things. Yeah. Those are special people in our lives.
When you guys see this cast, drop it in the comments who's believed in you and share a little bit of that story so others can hear it, because it goes miles. And just know you're getting called out today to believe in people and share that same experience.
I love that. And letting those folks know and being vulnerable enough to say, publicly, this person believed in me. Boy, what a treat you're giving them.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a heck of a thank you.
Well,
when you do it.
Way full circle on manager culture to who believed in you to get you to be. That's awesome.
No one does it on their own.
No
one does it on their own. You got to be part of a pack. I don't care what you think. Turn on National Geographic. The lone wolf never survives.
No.
Right? Like, you be part of a pack. I don't care how tough you think you are.
And even if you are tough, man, it's just better doing life with people.
Yes.
Than doing it by yourself. And, getting back to being a manager and what type of culture you push to your team is, really going to that word team and being together, right? Like there's a lot of things that go on in everyone's lives every day, whether it be with their family or at work or just in the world in general, that having a support group together that you can have the conversations with when you have good ideas on the job sites and you want to do something different to bounce off of, when sometimes you just don't have the answer to something, right? Like being a team, a manager has to be a part of that team. They can't be setting aside from their team. They're not above, they're not below, but they are right there in the middle of the team.
It's a tough job. We were talking about at lunch today. When you're a manager, you really have to practice improving your use of the spoken word and the written word.
Yes.
It's that simple, right? Children can understand it. But boy, it's a heck of a thing to become an expert in.
Man, I think, when I was talking about what you lose when you write it, for me is that emotional connection, that the looking in someone's eyes, the expressions that are on their face, the body language, their demeanor, like all of those things go into your spoken language. And then in your written language, man, make sure you're doing punctuation right. Spell words correctly. Like, you send an email, proofread that thing before it goes out. Like, you're right. Like you have to be diligent in multiple things of ways of communication to effectively get it to all levels that you're working with now as a manager.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Altair Energy Services, and their highly trained, expert technical staff, leveraging decades of renewable power management experience into customized solutions for everyone to meet their energy goals and contribute to a better future for all. Altair's team of hardworking, respected experts are providing full-scope, turnkey repairs, planned and unplanned maintenance, system upgrades, fully autonomous technical crews, supplemental staffing, and customized dynamic scheduling to fit your power production needs. Contact Altair at info@altairenergyservices.com and learn more about their wide range of capabilities across multiple power technologies and platforms. I recently wrapped up an intro to management course I was telling you about, but it was all about the soft people skills, right? It wasn't like training somebody on how to dispatch people or run service reports and time cards and expenses. It was just on how to treat, who are you? Learn yourself. Learn how to use the other attributes that the human experience allows us to do.
Right.
Learn how to see it in others and then promote it in those people. But at the end of it, I had everybody write a multi-page procedure. So, I say this written word is so important today because if you're a technical expert, the way to share that is to write it down and give it to somebody.
Yeah.
So that they
can understand it, right?
Yes.
If they can't understand what you wrote down, then that procedure is no longer effective.
Yes.
Right. And then the best part of it is if you can get them to understand it, the retention piece comes along with it. Right. So that you're right. Written skills are tremendous to be able to get to that next level.
I don't know if I told you this, but I lived through this a couple of different job cycles, I call them at GE because I had so many different jobs. But writing procedures, all of a sudden, your technical experts were not your technical writers. And so we hired technical writers. Saying, okay, go follow the technical experts around. And it still didn't come out quite right. It took a long time. It was a grind, right? So if more technical experts become good with the written word, woo, you're powerful. You're powerful if you can do that.
Those are diamonds that you have to mine for, right? Because so many guys in the field, even, me coming from the field, I am not an effective communicator when it comes to written language. I can call myself out on that. Like I can type a really great email. I can put together a quote in a template. But for me to write something for someone to retain, I couldn't be a trainer. Like that's a different piece that if you can mesh that to not only be able to write it, but get someone to retain it, that's the piece to me that gets you that diamond.
Yeah.
Right. Like you said, if you got a technical writer, you got a technical expert, and then they follow each other around, the procedure's still no good if nobody can understand it and then remember how to do it and why you're supposed to do it that way. So trainers are even above on that level.
All right. The only part I disagree with is if you want to go learn anything, you're going to become an expert, Ian.
That's fair.
You are great. You are one hell of a professional. From technical expert to building manager culture, leading global business, and now launching a new company with some of the people that originally believed in you. What's this ride been like?
Man, it is a roller coaster of emotion, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Yeah. To be able to come back to an industry that's given me so much, just the opportunities, the fact to have a home, to travel the world, to have kids, that Renewables gave me all of that.
Yeah.
And now having a platform to be able to bring technicians in and show them that they're more than just a tech and give them that next level for themselves, it's the most rewarding thing that I can honestly say that I've got to be a part of. And we're in our infancy. We started at the beginning of this year. We've got our first wave of technicians out. We're onboarding with customers. And I'll tell you, it's humbling at the same time, because for so long I've worked at a different level, and I would be like, oh, I need insurance. I call the insurance person. I need a uniform. I call the uniform person. And now that person is me.
You just change your hat or your name tag.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh man, I probably could have been a whole lot nicer from time to time to those pieces, but yeah, it's been great, Adam, and I appreciate you asking. Here to serve Workforce Solutions. We have an office in California. We have an office in Florida, but nationwide presence of technicians across the board, with heavy focus in solar and energy storage. We've got a lot of professional services guys that are working out there doing some project management, quality control, EHS work, writing procedures, helping folks out with, onboarding as well for their businesses, ISNet. There are so many levels that when you go to start a company, like Whirlwind back in 2013, we were already pretty good. But in 2007, like 2007, there was not nearly the regulation or the pieces. Like you could go build a wind farm with a square shovel and a boom truck.
Okay.
Now it's a lot of levels. And so it's just learning those pieces and wanting to make sure that we're giving our customers that white glove service that they deserve, and our technicians the same white glove service as internal customers, so that they can follow their career path and be the next level, the next generation of leaders out there. We coined that phrase of hashtag more than a tech, and It's real. Like you can come, I can give you technical training all day long, but what I can't train is that here to serve attitude. Can you show up to work on time, work safe, work smart, say please and thank you? When you go to the ice chest to get a bottle of water, do you get one or do you get 6 for your whole team? Those are things that accelerate you in this business and as a technician and a leader to get you to that manager culture that we're talking about today.
Ooh, you hit a lot of like mission motto pieces behind here to serve Workforce Solutions, but plus some of the grind of starting a new business. Let's pull on that thread a little bit. How did this happen? What drove you to the point? What excited you about getting there?
I have always loved being in the manpower space. I was a technician. That believe part had come, but I like being able to help and foster growing people. Like when people buy houses, have babies, plan doctor's appointments, those are metrics that we really should look at as a win. And in a services business, you get to see all of those things. When people put their head down and just go to work, be safe, again, go home tired and dirty, but they get so much benefit out of the next steps in their career. So I was working for a large company, and it was a grind. It was hard, and I had felt like I had left something on the table, and came back with my partners, and we said, hey, there's still a gap in this market, and we feel like we could fulfill that. I mean, the same thing kind of that you did a couple years back with Altair, and we just decided to burn the bridges and go to work. And so I came on board, and we've been cruising now for 5 months, and tech's in the field, contracts underway. Not easy, not fast, but good. And that's it. Like, I just want to be able to build something so that people can succeed in their careers the same way I did, while also potentially leaving a legacy for my kids, because of the way the world is kind of trending right now, that it's not easy to start a business. And 20 years from now, when my kids are ready to do that, I don't know if those opportunities will be there. So I've got to put some roots down to be able to allow them to have every opportunity to be successful as well.
Boy, it starts off with friends and belief. It goes through investing in others and the rewarding part of seeing other careers, and then right back to family and kids.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you kudos, man. Not a lot of people understand their life that well-rounded. That's impressive.
Well, thank you.
That's really impressive.
You get to see the good part right now. Like, there are definitely highs and lows, and just go grind, be good. Like, do the next right thing. I say that a lot to people. Just, can you do the next right thing? because you can get a lot out of life by doing that.
Yep.
You know, I know that you guys had some other casts coming up here that are going to air that guys had some cool pieces in their life that they just want to influence and affect. And man, let's all go do that.
We're starting to, the podcast, attract some folks that are, yep, C-suite people at companies, but really have a passion to help others. And loving it. We need more of that.
Yeah.
We need more of that in this world. That's good medicine. Okay. Man, you've I love the focus, right? It isn't, there are a lot of money folks that kind of control our industry, and clear, that's their focus. Mm-hmm. And I like that wasn't part of yours.
I mean, money, nobody is in this as a hobby, right? For sure. We all have to make money, but it doesn't have to be the reason behind why we're doing it. Right. And to me, it's just people. It's people. It's my family. It's relationships like mine and yours where, we can be in the same marketplace and the space, but we still can bounce ideas off each other. We can be transparent. We can help one another grow because we all have different pieces that we're good at the end of the day. Nobody is great at everything. And if you try to be, you'll be mediocre at them all. So just, again, team, going back to those pieces that we're talking about, culture is doing life with good folks that are like-minded and want to grow together. That's where we're at. And I mean, that's what you've got on this podcast right now. Is it started with just some friends from the industry, and now it's grown, and you're touching folks and you're having effect in things bigger than just the industry, but in community to globally, and it just grows, man. It's awesome. I'm super pumped that this is here for folks.
Right on. So are we. Yeah, no, it's a fun job. Okay, so you're seeing changes in the industry from 2007 to now, you said, but yes, that's a long chunk. But so regulation you mentioned.
Yeah, we were talking about that at lunch today, right? Like in a services business world, the equipment always has to be maintained, but how do you get parts in? How do you still have industry experts that are now from overseas because OEMs are manufactured over there? So what I'm seeing a shift as I'm talking to folks in the industry, like there's some scare, there's some nervousness, right? With tariffs that are coming in, with the IRA requirements that are now behind, workforce and prevailing wage. And then the other one is just, we're in a transition period where our government is moving from an old presidency to the new presidency, and there's some fear of what was implemented before that could no longer be. So I think we're seeing some reserve from folks right now. I don't think that we're going to see a complete pause, but I do think we're going to have a slow session right now. Mm-hmm. How about you?
Yeah, no, feeling slow, feeling a little bit of this industry's paused, and trying to figure out the next steps, trying to figure out this administration. I don't care who you voted for. All I care is that people do vote. Like the only thing I care about. But yeah, this administration's making some waves, and we hope they're good for everybody. But it's got our industry on pause for a moment.
Yeah. I mean, lights still have to stay on at the end of the day. Power still has to be generated. So, I mean, we'll see a lull, but ultimately equipment, again, still has to be maintained, and folks will find a way to continue to do that. And it's having conversations like we're having now. It's us being active in the industry to get everyone aligned and try to pull together versus that dollar value thinking of let's just race to the top. No, guys, let's all race in the same direction so that we can all be there at the finish line instead of just, one or two, right? Yeah. And we have to pull together that way.
That's right. We're all in the same industry.
That's it.
Yeah. We're all in the same boat.
Fair enough.
Let's not paddle in opposite directions. A lot of industry changes. So, I'm seeing wind development, like,
You hit the brakes.
a little bit. Solar, little slowdown for some new development. I suppose waiting to see about tariffs and
For sure.
who's here. Similar with battery, right? Most of the lithium comes from overseas.
Right.
We know of a couple that are manufacturing inside the country, but that piece still has to be brought in.
Raw materials still have to come from somewhere. And I mean, there's a lot of folks working to source here locally and, in the continental North America, but building factories and getting a workforce to get it out of the ground it's going to take time. So I think, again, if everybody's pulling in the same direction, and the folks that I'm seeing that are going to continue the market are ones who have just said, hey, we'll build with what we have, or those that safe harbored. There was some smart developers out there that put a lot of the stuff that had good initial capital to buy and hold material. And there'll still be some projects being built, but I think, to your point, we're going to see a lot of repower and folks investing back into the existing sites. And we'll just have to shift the way that our game is inside of a services business to be able to still provide them what they need at the end of the day, whether it be engineering solutions, we were talking about that earlier today, or project managers, consultants that have been in the industry long enough that are willing to share that legacy info. And let's learn from the mistakes on our first builds, and let's improve on the next set so that we're not having to continue to repower at this rate, right?
Yeah.
Let's let some projects get to life cycle.
I'd like to take this time to thank another one of our wonderful sponsors, Podge Engineering. Podge Engineering, making wind and solar all we know it can be. Are your renewable energy assets underperforming or not performing at all? Did you expect many years of longevity and they're failing on you now? Podge LLC offers many customized, engineered products and solutions to get these assets back on track. Podge Engineering also performs root cause analysis, engineering services, procurement, and construction. Visit podge.org. That's PADGE.org. Remember Podge, making wind and solar all we know it can be. That's it. Listen to your customers.
Yeah, they'll tell you.
We hope they will. We hope they will.
But I think listening to them, and they will, but also we have to be diligent in seeing what the horizon is. And sometimes you just don't know what you don't know, and we have to be able to take that back to them and be like, here are some things that can be done to help improve performance or, extend life and longevity on projects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're seeing similar things. Trying to pay attention to the news. There was a whole DC Capitol kind of thing this week in our industry. We saw most of the owners represented there and bigger players, which is good. Federal government needs that kind of attention. Hey, people are interested in this.
They've got to hear from us because the squeaky wheel does get greased at the end of the day.
I've never greased one that wasn't squeaking.
That's right. So, and just thank you to those that did spend their week up there, because it is long, it's grueling, it's not glamorous, it's not building turbines or solar farms and fixing cool stuff. It's hard work. So I appreciate all of those that were up there this week.
Yeah, I love it. I love all the pictures on LinkedIn and smiley faces from the folks that are there representing their companies to our country.
Right.
I mean to goof that one up. You've been doing some cool stuff on LinkedIn. I'm loving the little videos and advice pieces that you're giving.
So, I've never had a social media account in my whole life. No MySpace, no Facebook, no Insta. I don't even know how to use those things. But LinkedIn kind of showed itself to me as a platform to speak to technicians and others in our industry, of just sharing the experiences that I've had, what this industry has given me, and where we need to shift to when it comes to a mindset of my post today. I'll refer to it was like, college is always an option, but trades is also an option.
That's right.
Right. The more energy infrastructure that we build, the more trades that we are going to need. The more we become dependent on ourselves as a country instead of, importing things, trades are going to become that. So know that there are options out there. College is great. I'm not saying that it's not. I went to college. But I mean, shoot, I went to college to be a firefighter, and now I build renewable energy projects. But it's real. Like, trades are a thing, and I want to share that with folks. I want to tell people it's okay. It's okay to not follow that normal piece, because you can still be successful. There are a lot of things out there that you can do. Man, people will believe in you. I'll believe in you. And it just takes that one person to help ignite and then start that snowball down the hill. So that's what I've been doing on LinkedIn. It's not easy. It's incredibly uncomfortable for me. But there's a need for it. And if I can help that, then I'm here to do it. And if anybody out there has any advice for it or wants to jump on a video with me, you got something to say, man, hit me up at info@htsworkforce.com. Put it down in the comments on this one, and I'd be happy to get back with you. We can do some collabs, and I will not be on Facebook or Instagram or the rest of it, but we will put some market out there for, our industry and others in the trades.
Love that. Well, I'll encourage you to keep doing it. You're putting good stuff out there.
Thank you.
I love that. I have no advice on what is good or bad. I asked Jacob.
Okay, Jacob, we'll talk later.
But yeah, no, but you're sharing information, right? Sharing personal bits about your story. You're sharing great advice for folks. I say keep going. More of it. I mean, that's one of the huge passion pieces behind the podcast is so that other folks can know how to get their career to a different point, right?
Right.
And it's why I love that everybody talks about their careers, and here is a path, and it's that you got to get started, and you start to see through the doors and the cracks in the windows. And I'll talk some trash about colleges since I got another second one just about to graduate.
Yeah.
Way to go, Shelby Rose.
Congratulations.
Graduating here May. CSU Long Beach is how she says it. Apparently they're the Dirtbags. Is that right? Their mascot?
Is that a real thing?
I think, yeah. Do
Yeah,
you want to check
Jake
on
says
that, Jacob? Yeah, they're Dirtbags. Yeah, no, she's an inspiration of mine. She's just kicking ass. But what I want out of colleges is a job placement rate. And I think the job placement rate will dictate how much you can charge. This is, I've thought a lot about it, right?
Yeah.
I got, this is
well,
my
you
second
graduated
one
too.
going through college. And I'm like, I love that the skills maybe aren't going to be insanely useful until your career progresses a bit, but you got to get started somewhere. It is Dirtbags. Yeah. Long Beach. But that's the one piece that they miss out on. If they would, give me an 80% job placement rate, charge what you want. You got 50% job placement rate, your shit's for free. Like, because anybody can get a 50% opportunity at a job, right? Like, I really think, and what I love about the trades is they're connected with the people that need those folks working. So their job placement rates you hit at trade school are typically through the roof. Right? They know the companies, and those companies are just waiting for the next batch of applicants. I know we are at Altair.
For sure.
I know Chance gets a mass amount of emails from, I think, nearly 20 technical institutes every time they get close to a graduation cycle, right? Because, he runs our hiring machine, and it's a technical school. It's not your prototypical four-year college schools.
Yeah. I think whether it be a technical school, which is definitely amazing because it gets you that next step ahead, or even a 4-year, a 2-year, it's taking the fact that you're still learning how to learn and then instilling that for the next steps, right? Like elementary school, junior high, high school, you don't use that in your day-to-day, but it was teaching you how to learn. And then the next step as an adult is to how to foster that to grow the rest of your life and continue how to learn. So not saying there's not a place for colleges, trade school, just know you have to keep learning. You can't just sit still.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and the trades are real. Like, If you can go in and start a job while others are sitting in a classroom, and then when they come out, they've got some debt, and you're already 3 years into your career and you're approaching that manager level because you spent the time and you did it. Like, there's no right or wrong at the end of the day. What it is, which one which one fits you? There's no mold that makes it right or wrong, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's just because I'm old and a little crotchety about colleges at the moment, but I'm a big fan of the trades and
Me
technical
too.
schools. And you say get a job, but it's not a job, like a food service kind of job, right?
Oh, it's a career.
You get a job inside a industry,
Right.
with promotion and growth and training, in-house opportunities. You're entering a career,
You nailed it.
not just a job to pay some bills while I'm studying here, working on my other thing, right? You're starting your career.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get tired of hearing, go get a job, but you can start your career at any age.
It's true. And I mean, when I got out of school, I was working as a seasonal firefighter, and I was cruising. I'd work April till October, and then I'd collect my unemployment and hang out, go to the mountain, snowboard.
Yeah.
And one winter, my wife now, but her father at that time, my girlfriend, he says, "Why don't you come build a wind farm with me this winter?" And I was just like, all right. I mean, I'll go to work. I'm not afraid of work. And it just really escalated after that. I fell in love with the industry, number one. But number two, it was just I saw an opportunity that if you just wanted to go to work and really work, right? Not that job, but I wanted to go to work so that I could be the best at this. And it turned out okay. Within 3 months, I was a foreman. Within 6 months, I was a super. And I had never stepped foot on a wind farm at that point. But I did know how to show up to work on time.
Career opportunity.
That's it. Take those opportunities that you guys get out there. As wanting to become a manager, you're going to have to start at the bottom. You just don't go straight to a manager at the end of the day. So
yeah,
that's real.
And don't stop either.
No.
I still have mentors that I reach out to and ask twice a year for 30 minutes, 60 minutes. What's next for me? Don't get to work with them very much, but I think at any age, you got to keep them out there. Don't stop learning.
And those mentors that give to you makes you also need to give to others and be a mentor, because it is not easy to find someone that's willing to give you that time and that critical feedback. So, as managers out there, as folks in leadership positions, all the way up through C-level and owners, find someone to give and share those pieces with, and be hard. Make the conversations uncomfortable, because that's what makes people grow. Uncomfortable makes you grow.
Sometimes if my mentor chat doesn't make me feel like a loser, I need a different mentor, right? Like somebody, I'm not like, saying beat me up, but you got to find people that see the improvement areas in you. And those are hard to look at. It's hard to hear, you're not doing good here.
Yeah.
And this is how you can improve. But it's what we need to keep growing. So no school, technical school, never got out of 7th grade or have a PhD. I don't care. You've got to keep learning, and you need people around you to do it.
I told people for a long time I had a PhD because I was a certified post-hole digger.
Here's my cert.
Yeah, that's it. How many you want done today?
I love it. I think we're coming close on time, and I know we have another appointment just after this, so I don't want to run us over, but I want to say, what else would you like to share?
I just want to thank you again for the opportunity today to come back as round 2 and promote a little bit about HCS Workforce and just share about managers. And guys, I know we dropped a lot of info on you today and we asked for some stuff, but that feedback's what helps us. So I'm challenging again. Put it in the chat. Send us notes. That's what we're here for. tell Adam and Jake what you guys want to see, what you need to hear, and they listen, man. They'll put that feedback so that you guys are getting the content that you want. And this is, it's been amazing for me to watch this over the last year and follow every video and the folks that are on there and see some old faces that I've known for a long time, and then to meet new people that I didn't even know were in this industry. So kudos to you and your team for putting this together. And man, here's to many more years of success. And I'm coming back every time you ask me to.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna want to hear more about the next adventure that you're on here.
Oh, for sure.
And then we're gonna connect in the community. Jacob and I have been working on some new ideas, right? We have Tehachapi, California, huge renewables, and how renewables affect the community. So we're starting to dig into some of the businesses and see how it does affect them. And anyway, we're sponsoring the rodeo. I know you're on that board.
Yes, sir. We appreciate your sponsorship.
That one for sure.
Looking forward to it. So if anybody's around 4th of July and the third weekend in August, please make sure you attend Tehachapi Mountain Rodeo Association. We have a bull riding on the 4th and then a 3-day rodeo in August. And if you're around any other time, we typically have junior rodeo events that are going on as well. But yeah, we appreciate your guys' sponsorship and, being effective in your community and being able to give back. Those are all things that probably people don't always see when it comes and they think about renewables. But man, more sports teams get sponsored, kids, coaches, uniforms. That stuff goes hand in hand. I know I sit not only on the rodeo board, but also the Parks and Rec District here in Tehachapi. And we are so grateful for those sponsorships and being able to be in an area that doesn't always have the ability to fund everything. And it brings jobs. It brings those other pieces. So thank you to you guys for that.
Yeah. Hey, it's renewables to us because it affects the community.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Well, we'll be there. We got to get Jacob some cool press pass looking thing.
Okay.
I don't know if we've had press at the Tehachapi Rodeo yet, but
we definitely gonna get him a hat.
We're gonna. I don't know what a press pass is. That a thing anymore?
Oh, we can get him back behind the chutes. I mean,
oh boy,
they might try to talk you to getting on one though.
You probably would.
You're gonna be on a scooter still.
See what happened from snowboarding, scooting around now.
Yeah.
Awesome, Ian. Thanks for showing up. And I look forward to more of these chats and to hearing about your next adventure here with Here to Serve Workforce Solutions.
Thanks for having me, Adam. Thanks, Jake.
All right, bye.